What's up, Tint family? Welcome to our fourth Tint Wisdom. If this is your first Tint Wisdom, we do this every Tuesday at about 7 p.m. Eastern. And the idea is we go over different best practices, different strategies, different ways to use Tint Wiz, all things that will improve your tint business, whether it be making you more money, making your life easier, helping you grow it, helping you manage it, and so on. And I want to go ahead and start with a quote that I read a couple weeks ago that has just been with me and I feel like really says a lot and really hit home. So it's by Warren Buffett, and the quote goes, "When you make improvements on a daily basis, even incremental ones that are virtually unnoticeable in the short term, it's important to remember that time is on your side. It's when you look back in 6 months or a year or a decade that you'll start to notice astounding results that you never could have predicted." Buffett also points out the strong similarity in investing, saying that's how knowledge builds up, like compounding interest. And, the reason this hits home is because it's just so on target. Every day, you're going to work, you're on a full schedule, you work 5, 6, 7 days a week, and, doing something new, even if it's something that is good for yourself and is good for your business, it can be a bit of a challenge to make that step when doing what you always have been doing feels so much more comfortable, easier, and it just feels like, well, there's no time to learn something new or to do something new. And, that's a real thing to overcome. And, it's just important to note that those little bit of time in the day that you spend to do something new, that pays back in ways that you can't even imagine right now. It compounds, it builds up, and it can be the difference, between a comfortable life in 20 years from now, or 10 years from now, or 30 years from now, or wondering how long you're going to be, in the same position that you're in, which may be a great position, maybe a position you want to grow. But, I think what's always important is to always be improving. It doesn't matter where you start, where you are, or where you want to end up. It's just about making sure tomorrow is better than today, and today was better than yesterday, and always moving forward. So with that said, I want to mention that first of all, thank you for everybody who's reached out, everybody who's using the app. Since the Window Film Convention in Indianapolis, we've seen an explosion of new users. And with that said, we've been doing a lot of demos to help integrate team members of company owners as well as company owners into using the app. So, if it's something that you're interested in using and you don't have time to kind of even discuss it with your employees, you can definitely set up a demo and we will go ahead and train them on the usage, include all the best practices and so on, and help integrate it in. It's really, really easy. It's very intuitive. We built it with no training needed in mind. So, if you have a couple minutes to play around with it, you can get started by going to tintwiz.com. It's just going to ask you for an email and your name. It's not going to ask you for a credit card or anything like that, and you can go ahead and start using it. You can invite other staff to it. You can invite as many people as you want. You can create as many projects as you want, and so on. And it's just going to be your email and your name. And you can use it from any device, whether it's a desktop, laptop, iPad, Android, iPhone, and so on. You're going to use it the same way, tintwiz.com, and then you can go ahead and bookmark it on your home screen once you're logged in, so it won't ask you to log in the future. If you do use an iPhone or an iPad, go ahead and download it in the Apple App Store, and that's going to be the most convenient way from an iPad or an iPhone. So what I want to discuss today is some of the very, very simple things that are absolute best practices that have such a huge impact in tint businesses that adopt these practices and take such little effort. They probably will leave you wondering how you weren't doing them already. Hopefully you're doing some of these things or all of them, but if you're not, pay attention because these make enormous differences. So first things first is for flat glass tinters. When somebody's calling for a quote, are you going on a consultation or are you giving them a price over the phone? And if you said both, how many times do you give a price over the phone? How many times do you go out in person? Now, the reason I ask this is a lot of customers call with the intention of just getting a price. So they're gonna call up and say, hey, I have a few windows in my home. I need privacy, I need heat reduction, I need security, whatever it is, I need to know a price. And, you know, typically the reason they're just asking for a price, they're not asking for a consultation, is they may not realize that there's more than one option. Just like some car tint customers, they think one type of tint is the only type of tint. So the first thing you're going to want to do is educate them on the importance of a consultation. So the reason you're going to want to educate them on the importance of a consultation is because if you give them the price, they're going to hang up with you and they're going to call a bunch of other shops and they're going to keep asking prices, and then they're probably going to make their decision based off of price. Now, as a tinter, you know, while price is one factor in the tint transaction, it's definitely not the most important factor. The quality of the person doing the work is a huge, huge, huge part of the tint installation, as well as, of course, the quality of the product. If that product's going to look good from day one, last 6 months, last a year, last 10 years, if it has any performance benefit, and so on. So that's on you to educate the customer. Now, again, the reason it's so important is because if you don't educate the customer, they're making their decision based off price. If you do educate the customer, now you're introducing some other things for them to consider when making their tint decision. And now coming out for a consultation seems like the only option. So let's go through a little live run. Customer calls up, hey, I have 3 windows. I'd like to get tinted for privacy. How much is it? You say, well, we can come out for a free consultation. We'll bring you samples of the different options. We'll take all the measurements and we'll answer any questions. And they say, well, I don't want to waste your time. Just about how much is it? Right there, that's the important moment. And they're either going to want a price and move on, or you're going to have the opportunity to have them understand the types of film. So one method would be asking them more questions. So you said you have 3 windows. Do you have the measurements of the windows? They may say yes, they may say no. Now, if they say no, you can go ahead and say, well, you know, the price does depend on the size of the windows as well as the type of windows. And then another important factor is the type of glass you have, because it is important to match the right type of film with the right type of glass. And that's why we prefer to come out for a consultation. It's completely free. It actually helps us give you the best quote we can, match the right film for what you're looking for. And it's no inconvenience because we're actually in your area doing another project early this week. You know, is there any time that would be convenient? We do work weekends as well. Now, you've just kind of reframed your position. You're no longer just a guy on the phone giving a price. You are an expert that has shown you have the customer's best interest in mind. Customers realize that, and you know, whether you make it out there for a consultation or you end up giving them a price over the phone, which I would advise against if possible, that customer is going to think of your company in a higher regard and wonder, if they do call another company and they're so willing to give them a price over the phone, how do they know what film is going to be good for their home? How do they know what type of glass they have, and so on? So right there, you know, is kind of a good example of how a call can go in either direction. And you may think giving a price was the only option, and it really is how you handle the call. So another really important factor, well, to finish that point off, what I want you to do is every single call you get for flat glass, for residential, for commercial, make it a point to schedule a consultation, okay? They want a price, schedule a consultation. It's 1 window, schedule a consultation. It's a little bit far, drive a little bit further. See how it goes. Do it for a week or 2. See if you don't double the amount of flat glass you're doing. Because what happens a lot of times is you don't know what you're missing out on because you haven't experienced it yet. But you do know what you've done. So try something different if you're already not doing this. And I can absolutely guarantee, if you are polite on the phone, if you answer all the questions, and if you are bringing forth, you know, your expertise to the customer and showing that you have their best interest in mind, the customer is going to give you the opportunity to earn their business and, you know, provide you with the right service that they deserve and that you want to provide, instead of being a customer that's solely focused on price. Okay, so go ahead and give it a shot. If you have any questions on how to handle any specific rebuttals from customers or whatnot, go ahead and put it in the comments, and we'll either answer it live towards the end of this live stream, or we'll answer it after in the comments, as well as we can address it on the next Tint Wizdom next week, Tuesday at 7. So, you know, on the point of phone calls, another thing that I can't stress enough is how you sound on the phone. That's going to be the first impression of your company. So I understand you're busy and you're probably tinting windows, or you're handling other phone calls, or you're handling employees or other customers. But it is absolutely imperative when you answer the phone that you sound happy, that you sound like you love window tint, that you love the customer, that you're appreciative of them calling you and they have your attention. So the first thing would be how you sound. You have to sound cheery. Nobody wants to talk to a grumpy person, and nobody wants to feel like they're burdening you. Okay? That comes into play when we get into how to deal with when your schedule's booked and a customer wants their tint job today. And that's the difference between them going somewhere else or them being willing to wait 2 or 3 weeks or a week to get into your shop. So sound cheery. A good way to introduce yourself would be, hi, good morning. This is Eric with Tint Wiz. How can I help you? And simple as that. You're giving them your name. You're letting them know you're the company that they called, and you're there. You've already told them that you're there to help them. Okay? Things like saying you're there to help them. How can I help you? Those are cues to the customer that you are somebody that they can trust, and that your intention aligns with their need, which is they have questions for you. So customer says, hey, I have a Toyota Celica. I'm looking to tint. I need to know a price. Now, everybody has their strategy from here moving forward. The way I would handle it is, definitely want to give a price over the phone. A lot of times shops will say, I don't give prices over the phone. I just want to, you have to come in and look at it. That is a huge inconvenience. People want to get a price. They want to have an idea of what they're going for before they drive over there and get a price and waste an hour or an hour and a half between the drive and getting there. So you definitely for automotive want to give a price over the phone. If you now, because it's a Celica, it's probably an older car, you can ask questions now. Perfect, I can definitely give you a price over the phone. So you're telling them, I have the solution for your question. You want to ask them maybe, does it have any existing tint on it now? If they say no, you know what you're doing. Now, yes, it's an older car. It could be a little dirtier. It doesn't make a difference. Just give them a price over the phone. Give them the option, sound cheery, and let them know your first available date. A lot of times, maybe you're booked up for a few days, customer wants it done today. How you respond to that. If you tell people, I'm sorry, I'm booked, they're doing you a favor coming into your shop and you're already booked, that's definitely not going to work and might even earn you a bad review. The way to handle that is be apologetic. I'm so sorry, our first available is, and say the date and time. We definitely want to take care of you. We are pretty booked up. This is our busy time. We really love what we do, and I definitely don't want you going anywhere else. I want to take care of you. Is there any way we can go ahead and book an appointment for that day and time, and I can go ahead and throw in a free sun strip, or I can knock off $20 off the price for your inconvenience. I just want to make sure it's perfect for you, and you have a great experience. And that can be the difference between you winning the customer over or not. Don't build up that thick skin that can come over years and years of answering the phone, where you feel like, hey, if it's not this customer, it'll be the next. Because the way you treat the customer, you're giving them even if they come in either way, they're getting a different impression of your business. That can be the difference between you're able to upsell them to a better quality film, or if they go with the cheapest option. It can be the difference between them telling 5 friends, or them leaving you a good review, or them not coming back ever again. So, you're already doing it. You have to find ways to take it to that next level, and not compete on price, compete on service. I would rather pay more for a service and deal with a great person and a great experience than just pay less and deal with somebody who doesn't sound like they enjoy their job. And I know I'm not alone. Most people feel that way. Most people will pay for that service. So a lot of times people are wondering, how do I get people to pay more? You have to give them more. And I don't mean more tint. I mean a better experience in your shop. Do you have water? Do you have uniforms? Do you answer the phone quickly? Do you have a voicemail? Do you sound happy? If you're having a hard time sounding happy, an old call center trick is, if you can, which may be difficult if you're tinting windows, try to look at yourself in the mirror. If you have like a mirror, a peel board or anything, look at yourself in the mirror when you're talking on the phone and make sure you smile. If you're physically smiling, you automatically sound cheerier. So make sure you physically smile, and automatically it's going to come across to the customer. So, Those are the two things that I think make an enormous difference, or I know make an enormous difference. Again, if you're doing flat glass, you definitely want to go on every single consultation, even if it's one window. Go out there, give the customer an opportunity to meet you, to experience your knowledge, to understand more about the products, to see the difference in the films. It's very tough for a customer over the phone to understand the difference in optical clarity or the heat rejection of a film or so on. Those are things that you have to let the customer experience in person, and they will be a game changer for your flat glass business. The one hurdle that I know you're potentially going to encounter, especially if you're doing both flat glass and automotive, is you may say, well, how can I do a consultation for everybody, because I also have cars to tint and I have homes to tint and businesses to tint, and that's where, there's two solutions. Number one is always going to be efficiency. The way you do more in one day as one person is you do it more efficiently. That means getting rid of the unnecessary stuff and making your tasks easier. So what I mean by that is, if you're going to do 8 consultations in a day, you're going to do 3 consultations in a day, if you're going to do 8, you need them to be close together, right? So the idea is you want to try and schedule your projects, your consultations, your installations close together. So that's where Tint Wiz really shines. It has a map, a Google calendar with a map built in. So when you're scheduling, whether you're scheduling an automotive or a flat glass, you can see where you're scheduling yourself to go, as well as where your existing jobs are. So if you're a mobile car tinter, or you're trying to do home consultations, as we're discussing, and you have other places to go during the week, you can make sure that you're going to be down the street. The more drive time you avoid, the more time you waste. That hour driving that you could have wasted in a day could be another 2 consultations. Those 2 consultations could be another $1,000 or $2,000. And when you extrapolate that over the course of a year, that's $100,000 and so on. That's how you incrementally build up your business. You don't have to hire somebody. You just have to make the jobs you're doing more efficient. Or if you're going to hire somebody, then you need a way to manage their schedule. Because if you hire somebody and you don't have a system in place to manage scheduling, what happens is managing that employee takes more effort than doing it yourself. And at that point, you become frustrated, you get rid of that person, and you decide that you're the only person that can run your business. And that is a false idea. What it takes is systems so that things run smoothly, so that everybody can contribute, everybody has access to what they need access to, and the business can hum, without it all revolving around one person. So, that's basically it. The 2 most important things that I can guarantee, if you implement into your business, you'll find an immediate return. I mean, immediately you'll see that week's sales are going to go up. So I'm going to jump into the comments on Facebook, see what we have here. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you so much. Definitely Patrick from Window Tinting Business is a huge inspiration to this live stream. So I can't wait till he's doing live streams again. And see, Billy Ayton, find the need to confirm and assume the sale. Thanks for video, lots of good info. Definitely, always, exactly, both of those points are 100% right. You definitely want to agree with the customer. You want to find out what they're looking for and show them that that you have the solution for them and you understand their problem. So an example of that would be, if a customer says, hey, I'm looking for tint. Okay, awesome. There's a lot of different types of film. What are you looking for it to do? Is it for privacy? Is it for heat rejection? Is it for safety, security, and so on? Now, I gave the customer options. Okay, so I'm immediately telling them, hey, I have the verbiage for you, making it easy for them. They don't have to think of what it's called. I'm letting them know these are things I'm familiar with ahead of time. So if it's privacy, well, I said privacy. So that means that must be a good match for them. Perfect, privacy. So, if they say privacy, I'm going to say, okay, so you're looking for a film that gives you a natural view from the inside looking out, but privacy from anybody looking in during the day. And, they're going to confirm that, or they're going to tell you, no, that's not what I had in mind. I need privacy day and night. It's for a bathroom and so on. You can say, oh, I understand. That's for frosted film. We can definitely do that. So the point is finding out their need and then confirming that you have the solution for their need. The more you find out from them, the more tools you're going to have to be able to, take care of them. And that, again, is the difference between making the sale, not making the sale, having an extremely happy customer or not. And truly, at the core of it, it's the fulfillment of the job. You want to provide people with what they're looking for. You want to make their day better, their life better, their home better, solve their problems. So, take the time, ask them the questions. It's totally worth it. And of course, assuming the sale. You have to treat every customer like your only customer and your last customer and your first customer. Your customers are your customers, whether they call for one window or 100 windows, whether they have an accent or they don't have an accent, or you found some way to feel like you can determine what type of customer they are or what they're looking for. It's not true. Those are things that our mind and our ego can trick you into thinking and feeling like you know better. They're just not true. You have to go into it just like day one, and don't build that thick skin that makes you assume sometimes too much, because there's a saying about when you do too much assuming, and I can guarantee it doesn't work out. So, hey, what's up, Michael? Thank you for jumping in here. Michael from Film Slingers Tools, absolutely incredible guy. I was able to meet and hang out with him at the convention in Indianapolis, and it was, out of the 5 years I've been going, it was by far the absolute best one. For that reason, it wasn't the biggest turnout. It wasn't necessarily my favorite city in the world, but the people I was able to meet and hang out with and talk with, I've never had a better time, and I really, I'm looking forward to next year. What's up, Carol? And Betsy said, I've had clients who call in for a price for one window, and after speaking with them and educating them on products, I schedule consultation. This happened to me many times, where I go out for a one-window consultation, and while on site, the client decides to do the entire home. So that's a very, very, very good point. So, everybody wants a lead. What is a lead? A lead is somebody giving you their information, saying, hey, I'm interested in window tint. You're just happy to get a lead. Lead comes into your email, or somebody tells you so-and-so's looking for tint. Awesome, that's a lead, okay? Now, when that person tells you, well, they only have one window for you, that's not less of a lead. That's more of a lead. Because if you can get into their home for one window, that's an opportunity for their cars, for the rest of their windows in their home, for the windows in their business, potentially for their yacht, for their neighbors' homes, for their family members' homes, and so on. So, you can't look at that as a one window, oh, that's less of a lead, let me just give a price and move on. That's a humongous opportunity, and that, perfectly ties into what I've been talking about this live stream. Cease the opportunities. If you treat every opportunity like a golden one, it will be a golden one. And at the end, you're going to be surprised how much easier running your tint business is, how much more money you make, and how the customers change their tune, because you start to get a different type of customer. You get repeat customers. You get customers who aren't so concerned about price. And that's because you've made it more than something about price. You've made it about experience. And today, now, this is a time where people want experience. They want a great experience. People deserve a great experience. And because of social media, great experiences are the best type of advertising and the current word of mouth. So please always see that, whether it be one window, whether it be in a home, or whether it be just a sun strip on a car, that is a humongous opportunity. A sun strip on a car can turn into you noticing they need paint correction, and maybe it's a brand new car and they need, clear bra on the front or on the whole thing, or ceramic pro. That can turn a $25 sun strip into a $4,000 or $5,000 package on their car. Okay, so opportunity. Keep that in mind this week. Absolutely every customer you have the opportunity to speak with is a golden opportunity for you financially. So don't treat it like anything less. So that is it for today's Tint Wisdom. If you want to do a live demo, simply shoot us a message on our Facebook Messenger, or you can jump onto tintwiz.com and go to the live support or the contact, and you can set up a demo. Demos are usually 30 minutes to an hour long. You can be present for the demo, or we can just train your staff, or you can skip the demo, start using it, and then You can always schedule a demo at any time. The demos are completely free. The training's completely free. The best practices are free. The price of the app is free for 30 days, and then it's $100 a month after that. And that $100 covers an entire business. So whether your business is just you, or it's you plus 100 employees, or you plus 15 employees, or whatever it is, it's still $100 total for that business. That's not going to change. You can add as many customers as you like, as many projects as you like. You can add as many pictures, as many videos, as many documents, as many consultations and installations. I hope you understand that it's $100, only $100 for every business. Start using it in the 30 days. If you need more time on a free trial, it's as simple as asking us. We always say yes. Our genuine interest is elevating the tint industry. We want to show and share the best practices so that everybody can have a better time and grow the industry. It's just such an incredible, unique industry because it's, I've never seen an industry there's such a family structure to it. It's not run by big corporations. Most tint shops are, mom and pop, family owned, maybe first, second generation, third generation with a couple generations working for the company. Whether you're that or you're a franchise or whatnot, it's just, you see it at the meetings, at the dealer meetings, at the conventions every year. Whether you're a manufacturer, you're a tint company or a franchise or whatever you are, everybody comes together. And there's still so much room for the industry to grow, just to make it a better experience for everybody and to, elevate their business. So that's what we're all about. Check out the next, Tint Wizdom. It's every Tuesday, live streaming from our Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then we also upload this to YouTube afterwards as well. So, thanks for watching, and I'll be checking out the comments for any questions or any ideas for next week. See you then.